Alright, well, I got the lock off. And there's two little stories I gotta put on here. The one, you know the one story. If you have any doubt whether your father loves you or not, you know how your dad's always trying to be tough, and when we moved out to Arizona and you got that little dress-up kit for Christmas, and you're like, Daddy, will you play dress-up with me? Dress-up is not the most manly thing in the world that a father can do, but I did it because my daughter asked me to. And your grandma thought that was so funny. Your grandma, you know that thing, she go, ah! And then she started really laughing. That's when something really tickled her. She go, ah! But she was all worried about those Mexican guys doing a good job on her tile. And me and you's doing dress up. You put all this shit on me, having our little tea party. And believe me, your father don't get dressed up for little tea parties too often. And the whole time, your grandmother's, oh my God, I hope they know what they're doing. Oh, I hope they know what they're doing. She's freaking out. So I figure I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to intimidate these guys a little bit and let them know that they better do a good job for my mother. So I thought I took everything off that you had put on me. You had so much shit on me. And I went out and I said, hey. And they looked at me. I said, I hope you're doing a good job for my mother. And I swear, they all just stood there with their mouths hanging open, looking at me. And I walked in and I said, Mom, I think they're fucking retarded. And she turned around and looked at me. And she goes, oh my God, Mark, come here. And I walked over, and your grandmother reached up and pulled that little princess tiara off of my head that you had put on my head and I forgot was there. So here I am, trying to be a badass with a little princess tiara on my fucking head. And then, the only time me and your mother ever messed up when it came to Santa Claus or stuff like that, Rosie was fighting going to sleep. She did not want to go to sleep. And now you know what it's like raising kids. You got 3 of your own. Me and your mother were exhausted. And we were sitting out there on the couch out there in the Ever Valley trying to go to sleep, or trying to stay awake so the tooth fairy could come. Huh. Well, you outlasted us. And we woke up in the morning to this beautiful little girl wailing because the tooth fairy forgot about her. And let me tell you, me and your mother both felt like shit because we had fallen asleep. And you were about the age where you were going to find out stuff anyway, so I said, Tiffy, come here. And I took you into the bedroom, and I pulled the top drawer open on your mother's chest of drawers, and I lifted up a bag with teeth in it. I said, these are Nathan's teeth. These are Seth's teeth. These are your teeth. And you looked at me with these big cookie eyes. Just these big wide eyes. You said, Daddy, you're the tooth fairy? And I said, there ain't no fairy in your father, sweetheart. I said, but yeah, me and your mom, there is no tooth fairy. We put the money under your pillow. You thought I was the tooth fairy and shit. Or when we were going to Arizona, and your grandma, I got a 24-foot rider box truck with a car on one of them trailers with the wheels up on the front wheels on the trailer. So I've got probably 30 foot behind me, driving from St. Louis all the way out to Tucson, Arizona. Rush hour traffic, and your grandma's just weaving in and out, you know, little old lady from Pasadena, flying, weaving in and out of traffic, and we lost her. There was no GPS then. I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I didn't know the address, nothing out in Arizona. And I was pissed. I pulled into a gas station so I could call her. And as I'm getting out, I punched the dashboard of the rider. And Amy said, you go, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Mayday, Mayday. Houston, we have a problem. And I'm probably the scaredest I've ever been in my life. Even more scared than whenever I first got to prison. Even more scared than I am right now. The scaredest I've ever been in my life was when I got that call. What I was told is, Tiffany's been hit by a car and she's been airlifted to a hospital. I've known people that have been airlifted to hospitals, and they are not here right now. And I was freaking out. Them back roads out there in the Ever Valley, I was coming from the flight field into town. And you know how them roads do this, them little hills? I was catching air. I mean, I was catching air. And whenever I got to the hospital, the police were there because you were in grade school. And I still say it's that damn crosswalk. They give you just enough time to get to the middle, the medium, and then you got to wait there to push the button again. But first thing I said to that police officer, I said, was it a man? And was he drunk? That was the two questions I asked. And he must have saw the look in my eye, because he said, sir, we'll handle this. I said, if it was a drunk man, I assure you, you're not going to have to handle shit unless you get a hold of him before I do. Where's my daughter? I was scared to fucking death. And you got whacked pretty good. It's in the newspaper, your shit knocked you out of your shoes, hit you so hard. But Tiffany, I've never lied to you. I've always told you the truth. And I have always loved you with all my heart. And I'm so very proud of you, sweetheart. I want you to keep doing what you've been doing, because you are a fantastic mother, a wonderful mother. And it's a pain in the ass raising kids, but enjoy every minute of it, because the day's gonna come when they grow up and they leave home. And believe me when I say, you're gonna miss them. I knew it was going to be hard for Amy, but I didn't dream in 100 million years that I would miss all of you like I do. I can remember whenever I was raising you guys, I can remember saying, God, I can't wait till these fucking kids grow up. Fucking, I'm gonna walk around the house fucking naked, and it'll be quiet here. Well, number one, walking around the house naked ain't all it's cut out to be, especially at my age. And number two, I hate the quiet. I miss hearing the arguing, even the voices. I miss all of you. But that's part of life too. Your kids grow up and they have to go on and live their life. What I can say that I'm proud of, though, is I broke the cycle. You didn't have to see a lot of shit that I saw growing up. And the way a man should treat you is the way I treat Amy. Because you know I love her. Everybody that knows this has got to know that. But I love you, Rosie. I'm so very proud of you. Just always do your best, sweetheart. You're a wonderful mother, a beautiful young lady inside and out. And your father loves you more than you'll ever know. And me and Grandma have a spot ready for you when it's your turn. But your old man's pretty tough, so don't be surprised if I'm still around for a while. I love you.